Everyone dismisses the Sierra sounds. They're wrong, and the evidence is far more compelling than you think. For decades, these strange, guttural vocalizations have been relegated to the fringe, written off as hoaxes or misidentifications. Yet, a closer examination of the Sierra sounds, recorded in the deep forests of the Sierra Nevada during the 1970s, reveals a complexity that challenges our preconceptions about what's truly out there. We're not talking about simple howls. This is something far more intricate. Our journey begins in the late summer of 1972, in a remote logging camp near an area known as the Devil's Den in the Sierra National Forest. A group of hunters and loggers, led by a man named Al Berry, began experiencing unusual phenomena. Strange sounds echoed through the valleys, not quite animal, not quite human. Berry, a seasoned woodsman, was initially skeptical. He'd heard coyotes, bears, and mountain lions his entire life. But these were different. They seemed to possess a deliberate, almost conversational quality. The encounters escalated, leading Berry and his companions to believe they were dealing with something extraordinary. In November of that year, Berry and his friend Ron Moorhead decided to try and record these elusive vocalizations. Armed with an old reel-to-reel tape recorder, they ventured back into the woods. What they captured that night would become known as the foundational recordings of the Sierra sounds. The tapes themselves are a symphony of growls, grunts, chirps, and what sounds eerily like speech patterns. Not human speech, certainly, but structured. It's a complex tapestry of sounds that defy easy categorization. This wasn't just random animal noise. It had rhythm, repetition, and what some interpret as call and response. Over the subsequent years, Moorhead and Berry continued their efforts, accumulating hours of recordings. They even attempted to interact with the alleged creatures, playing back recordings and observing responses. This wasn't a passive observation. It was an active, albeit cautious, dialogue across species. The heart of the controversy lies in the analysis of these sounds. Skeptics propose everything from bare sounds amplified by topography to hoaxes perpetrated by the recorders themselves or even ventriloquism. These are valid points, and any serious investigation must address them. However, proponents argue that the complexity and consistency of the vocalizations over time, across multiple recording sessions, are difficult to replicate with simple animal sounds or human trickery. The sheer volume of unique phonemes and apparent patterns presents a significant challenge to conventional explanations. One of the most compelling aspects is the work of Dr. R. Scott Nelson, a linguist and cryptographer. Nelson, a former Navy cryptologist, applied his expertise to the Sierra sounds, attempting to decipher patterns and potential linguistic structures. His findings, while not conclusive, are profoundly intriguing. Nelson identified distinct phoneme sets, repeated sequences, and what he described as a proto-language, a rudimentary form of communication. He found evidence of glottal stops, clicks, and tonal shifts that are uncommon in known animal vocalizations, but present in some human languages. Consider the implications. If these sounds are indeed a form of communication, it suggests a level of cognitive ability far beyond what we typically attribute to any undocumented primate. It challenges our understanding of primate intelligence and the very definition of language itself. But let's be clear, Nelson's work is not universally accepted. The scientific community largely dismisses such analyses without the physical specimen of the creature producing the sounds. The burden of proof, they argue, lies firmly with those making the extraordinary claims. However, dismissing the Sierra sounds outright ignores the meticulous nature of some of the recordings and the dedication of the individuals involved. Ron Moorhead, for instance, has spent decades preserving and sharing these recordings, often facing ridicule and skepticism. The remote locations, the unpredictable nature of the encounters, and the limited technology of the time all contribute to the difficulty in capturing definitive evidence. This wasn't a controlled laboratory experiment. It was raw, unpredictable fieldwork in the wilderness. One particular recording, often referred to as the flange, showcases a rapid, complex sequence of sounds that seems to defy typical human vocalization capabilities without digital manipulation. The speed and articulation are truly remarkable, pushing the boundaries of what a human mouth can produce naturally. Then there's the samurai track, a series of sharp, almost martial-sounding utterances that some interpret as a warning or territorial display. The sheer variety of vocalizations across the entire collection suggests a broad range of emotional expression or communicative intent. So what are we left with? a collection of audio recordings from the 1970s made by individuals who stood by their experiences, analyzed by a cryptolinguist who found intriguing patterns. And yet, no definitive answers, no creature in hand. The Sierra Sounds remain a potent symbol of the unexplained. They force us to confront the possibility that our forests might hold secrets far more profound than we currently allow ourselves to imagine. That intelligence and communication can exist in forms we don't yet recognize. Whether you view them as a fascinating hoax, an unsolved mystery, or compelling evidence of an unknown hominid, the Sierra Sounds demand attention. They are a sonic window into a world that whispers just beyond the veil of our understanding. Perhaps the greatest lesson of the Sierra Sounds isn't about proving Bigfoot's existence, but about keeping an open mind. About listening carefully to the whispers of the wild and daring to question what we think we know about our world. The scientific method rightly demands tangible proof, and the Sierra Sounds by themselves cannot offer that. But they do offer a tantalizing glimpse, an auditory anomaly that continues to echo through the decades, inviting us to listen again. As technology advances, perhaps one day we'll have the tools to analyze these recordings with even greater precision, or even capture new ones. Until then, the Sierra Sounds remain a captivating enigma, a voice from the wilderness demanding to be heard. What other cryptic vocalizations deserve a deeper listen?